Good morning, and here we are again on our Monday maths lesson where we will be doing another arithmetic paper. So this paper should be online for you on Dojo for you to see. You do not need to have it printed off. All you need to do in your maths book or your jotter is write the date and write arithmetic paper 2. You can then write down your answers as you do them throughout the paper. Okay, so you do not need to have this printed off at all. So you've got two different options for the way you want to do this. You can either look at the questions in front of you on the that you've got from Dojo, and you can give yourself 30 minutes, pause this video, and off you go. Or if for whatever reason you can't see them on Dojo, then I will tell you the question. You can then pause the video, work it out, and then I'll go through the answers with you. Right, let's get started. These are questions 1, 2, and 3. Answers for these ones then. So answer time then. 25 times by 6. Now, we actually do know our 25 times table. It's 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, or 150. If we didn't know that, we could have done column method, but you should have got the same answer either way. Okay, nice and easy. 901 add 100, 1000, and 1. Super easy. Give yourself a tick if you got these right. 231 times by 4, you would do column method, and your answer is 924. Okay, so same as last time, I'm going to kind of fly through the answers to the early questions, which are quite easy, and then I'll go through the method to the harder ones as we go through. Right, here are questions 4, 5, and 6. If you haven't done them, pause the video. If you have, let's get started on the answers. So, lovely, easy question for number 4. Line it up, place value, take it away. You can all do this in your head. 6.1. Next one, again, super easy. 564 take away 300. Well, it's just going to be 264. Last one, goodness me, what a page this one was. 81 divided by 9 would just be 9, because 9 times 9 is 81. Super easy. Give yourself a mark for all of those. Right, here are the questions 7, 8, and 9. Again, nice and easy for 7. Just make sure you line it up correctly. 4,514. Number 8, I know I keep saying this, but yes, so easy. Anything divided by 1 just stays the same, so it would be 756. Next one, again, we can do this. Can we add this straight away? Yes, because the denominators are the same. So it would be 10 eighths. You would get a mark for 10 eighths, or you could simplify it to 5 quarters, and you would get a mark for that. These are both improper fractions. So I personally would turn it into a mixed number, which would be 1 whole and 2 tenths, or 1 whole, 2 tenths, where's that come from? 1 whole and 2 eighths, or 1 whole and 1 quarter. So you would get the mark for either. So I'm going to go for 1 whole and 1 quarter, because then I've simplified it and I've turned it into a mixed number. Lovely. Okay, here are questions 10, 11, and 12. Number 10, again, line up your decimal point, 2.816. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times by 3, 27. Okay, remember the arithmetic test is all about speed. So the more you can do in your head, the better. Okay, 81 divided by 9 is 9. So 810 divided by 9 is going to be 90, because it's 10 times bigger. Give yourself a mark if you got those right. 13, 14, and 15 then. Okay, we have been working on timesing by 100. So for timesing by 100, we move it 2 places, don't we? Because times 10 is moved 1 place, times 100, we would move it 2 places. And if you want to write out your place value, so tenths, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, you absolutely can do. So this 6 is starting in the tens column and it's moving 1 place, 2 places. The 7 is starting in the ones column, times in by 10, times in by 100. I've got the 1 is starting on the tenths column, is moving times 10 times 100. Is my answer 671? No, we need a 0 there as a placeholder. So 6,710. Next one, divided by 100. So you've got 5.03. So we are going to move it 2 places to the right. So the 5 starts here and moves 1 2. The 0 starts here and moves 1, 2. The 3 starts here and moves 1, 2. What goes here? Placeholder. What goes here? Placeholder. So your answer is 0.0503. Next one, just simple column addition. Okay, simple column addition, line it up. There we go. And we should have had the answer 16,486. Give yourself a mark if you got all those right. Okay, 16, 17 and 18. So at this point in the paper, it's getting a bit harder, but we can still do it fairly easily, I would say. Okay, I think we could kind of do the first 20 fairly quickly, wouldn't take us too much brain power. This one, 3 times 9 is 27, and if we're not sure on these, get on TT Rockstars and get learning your times tables. So 300 times 9 is 2,700. Next one, multiplying decimals. We did this before Christmas, so 371 times by 5. Just multiply it like normal. So 5 times 100th is 5 hundredths. 5 times 7 tenths is 35 tenths. So there's my 5 tenths. Rename my 30 tenths as 3 wholes. 5 times 3 wholes is 15 wholes. Add these 3, 15, 16, 17, 18. Don't forget your decimal point. 18.55. This one couldn't be any easier. Can you take them away straight away? Yes, because the denominator is the same. So the answer is 4/12, or you could have simplified to 1/3. You would get the mark for either. There we go then. Next set of questions, the only one you might find tricky is this last one, but you can definitely do these two. Right, number 19 then. This one is bus stop method. So 6,732, and I'm dividing it by 8. So we need to be quick with those 8 times tables. How many times can you share 6 sweets out between 8 people? Well, you can't. So we rename. So how many times could you share 67 between 8 people? How many 8s go into 67? Well, 8 times 8 is 64. So you could share it 8 times, which would be 64, and you'd have 3 left, which would be 33. How many times does 8 go into 33? Well, it's 8, 16, 24, 32. So it goes in 4 times with 1 left over. How many times does 8 go into 12? 8, 16. Nope, it doesn't go in twice, it only goes in once, which would be 8, and then you would have 4 left over. So remember how we do this. We write 4, and it still needs dividing by 8. So it will be 4/8, which we know is the same as a half. So you could either write 841.5, or we know that half is the same as 0.5, so you could write 841.5. 20 is nice and simple, just as normal. Like I said, there's a lot on these arithmetic videos. You've got to line it up correctly. So you've got to have the ones and the ones together, the 10s and the 10s together. Okay, make sure you line everything up correctly, and that's not too tricky. Okay, percentage ones, like I said last week, are the only ones that you shouldn't really be confident with, because we haven't done this yet, but we will. 50%, cent means 100, so percent means out of 100. So 50% is the same as saying 50 out of 100, which is actually the same as a half. Okay, so if you're asking for 50% of something, you're asking for half of something. To find the half, you do 2,350 and just divide it by 2. You could do that mentally, or you could do bus stop method, and your answer would be 1,175. Really well done if you got that one right. So like I said, we haven't done that yet, so brilliant work if you've done that one correctly. Okay. 22 then. So this one is another line it up correctly one, as they all seem to be at the moment. So you've got your number here. This one here is going to end, or start rather, in the hundreds column. Now if you're not sure, start backwards. So this goes in the ones column, this goes in the tens column, this goes in the hundreds column. And there you are, you're lined up properly. That's all I mean. When I say line it up correctly, that is all I mean. So let's rule off. 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 0 is 0. 1 take away 9, I can't do. So we need to go next door. Ooh, but there isn't anything next door. So I then need to go and rename one of these 10,000s. So now I've only got 5. And I rename that 10,000 as 10,000. So now I've got 10 in this column. So now I can rename one. So this now becomes 9,000s, and I rename that 1,000 as 10 hundreds. So now I've got 11 hundreds, take away 9 hundreds is 2 hundreds. 9 take away nothing is 9, 5 take away nothing is 5. So my answer is 59,200. Next one, 14.4. And this time we're taking away 6.59. Now this time you can't write it backwards. This time you need to use the decimal points. If it's whole numbers, you can write your second number backwards to check it all lined up. If it's decimals, line up your decimal points. And the decimal point goes here. And then after it, I've got 5 and a 9 in that hundredths column. Before it, I've got 6. Yeah, 6 whole. Okay. What can you put after a decimal number so that it doesn't change the number? You can put a 0. 0 take away 9 you can't do, so you need to rename. 10 take away 9 is 1. 3 take away 5 you can't do, so you need to rename. 13 take away 5 is 8. 3 take away 6 you can't do, so you need to rename. 13 take away 6 is 7, so your answer is 7.8. Wow. Next one then, one of my favourites, multiplying decimals. Lovely. So when we're multiplying decimals, we multiply the numerator. And then we, if I can find my other highlighter, here it is, then we multiply the denominator. So 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 6 is 24, so my answer would be 1/24. Well done, keep going through. So 25 and 26, you might find 26 a bit tricky. Oops, sorry, that's okay, we haven't worked those out yet, we don't know how to do those yet, so don't panic. You can definitely have a go at 25. So for 25 then, straightforward takeaway would be 240,625. Okay, for this one then, okay, this one is a little bit tricky. I'll show you how to do it, but don't worry if you don't understand it. So percentage means out of 100. So 100% of 250 would be 250, because that means you've got the whole thing. Okay. 10% of 250 would be what? Well, you've divided this by 10, so you're going to divide this by 10, so it would be 25. So 10% of 250 is 25. Let's use that then to work out 70%. So we times it by 7 to get from 10% to 70%. So times 25 times 7. So your answer would be 175. If you didn't follow that, please don't worry. That's one of the only things on the arithmetic paper that we just haven't covered yet. So don't worry if you couldn't do that one. If you could, amazing. Right, 27, 28, 27 is a 2-marked question. So you can work it out in the compact method if you want to. All I'm going to do, because this is how we did it, is I'm going to partition up 31. So I'm doing 76 times 1, and I'm doing 76 times 30, and then I'm going to add them together. It's the same as this method, it's just a different way of laying it out. So 76 times 1 is nice and easy, it's 76. 76 times 30, well, I'm timesing by a tens number, so I need a 0 in my ones column, because any whole number times 10 is going to have a 0 in the ones column. Then I just do it as normal. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. Add another one, 22. I then add these together like we would normally. 0 add 6 is 6, 8 add 7 is 15, 2 add 1 is 3. So your answer should be 2,356. Give yourself 2 marks if you got that correct. Right, adding fractions, we can definitely do these. Can we add them straight away? No, because the denominators are different. So my common denominator is going to be 30. Yep, definitely 30. So I'm going to write these down. There we go. So I've times this by 6 to get to 30. So I times the numerator by 6, which would be 18. I've times 6 by 5 to get to 30. So I times the numerator by 5, which would be 5. 18 Add 5, 30, so don't forget my 1 whole. So 18 add 5 is 23 30ths. Can we simplify? No, because 23 is a prime number and 23 is not a factor of 30. There we go. Right. We are very nearly done. Last few to go through. 29 then. Oh. Multiplying fractions, nice and easy. Partition it up. So you're going to do 16 times 1 and you're going to do 16 times 3/4. So hopefully you can see where I've got this from. Okay, so 16 times 1, 16. 16 times 3/4. Okay, we need to think about this one a little bit then. So 16 times 3 tables, or 16 times 3 bananas, so 16 times 3/4. So my denominator is still going to be 4. Okay, and I need to work out 16 times by 3. So over here, I'm just going to do another little quick column multiplication. So 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3. So that's 48. So it's going to be 48 quarters. Goodness me. 48 quarters. Let's start simplifying. First of all, so let's divide it all by 4, which would be 12 over 1. Oh, that's interesting. What's 12 over 1 the same as? 12 over 1 is the same as 12. Okay, 12 wholes. Remember, we've done this before. Okay, so I've got 16 wholes, 12 wholes. So I'd add them together and my answer would be 28. That was a nasty one. Some big numbers in there. Well done if you spotted that. Okay, that was a tricky one. Or the other thing you could do is you could have just turned it into a mixed number, which then would have made it 12 wholes. Right, next one. We can definitely do this. I know how good we are at fractions. So we are doing a fraction divided by a whole number. So you keep, change, flip. Dividing by 2 is the same as timesing by a half. So you've got 4/5, you're timesing by a half because you've kept it, you've changed it, and then you've flipped it because 2 over 1 is the same as 2 wholes. You flipped it to a half. Then we know how to do this. We multiply our numerators, which would be 4. We multiply our denominator, which would be 10. So our answer is 4/10, or we could simplify it to 2/5. You would get the mark either way. Okay then. 31. This is another 2-mark question, and this is a plus-up division where you're going to need your 15 times table. So remember how we work out our 15 times table? We do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we do our 10 times table down the side, and then we do our 5 times table. Then let's add them up. So 1 times 15 is 15, 2 times 15 is 30, 3 times is 45, 4 times is 60, 5 times is 75. So all I've done there to get this is I've written down the 10 times table, I've written down the 5 times table, and there's my answers. Okay, we have done this. So how many times does 15 go into 2? Well, that's 0. So we're renaming. How many times does 15 go into 25? Well, that's 1. And then we're renaming the 10. So we've got 102. Right, I need to keep going a little bit on my times tables then, don't I? Add 35, which would be 105. Okay, so I've got 102. So I can share it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, which would leave me with 90. I had 102. So what's the difference between 90 and 102? It would be 12. So then I'm left with 120. Goodness me, I need even more of my 15 times table. Oh, no. Common mistake there. There we go. So I then can see that 120 divided by 8 would be 15. Exactly, so 15 times 8 would be 120. So my answer was 168. Big well done if you got that right. That is a 2-mark question. They are not easy. Another one that is not easy, but I know you can do these, is these ones here. Can we take the money straight away? No, because the denominator is different. So remember your 2 wholes. Common denominator is going to be 15. So we've times the denominator by 5, so we times the numerator by 5. We've times the denominator by 3, so we times the numerator by 3. And we've got 2 wholes and 5 fifteenths, take away 6 fifteenths. Can we do this straight away? No. But we take one of the wholes, we leave one of them, we turn the other one into 15 fifteenths, because that makes a whole. Add the 5, which is 20 fifteenths, take away 6. So then this would be 1 whole and 14 fifteenths. Well done if you got those right. Right, final stretch then, year 6. We're doing very, very well. Ooh, what a sneaky one. Right, remember when we did this? It was quite a while ago now. You always do the brackets first. Then you do division or multiplication, depending on which one comes first in the sum. And the number sentence, sorry. And then we do addition or subtraction. So which bit of this number sentence do we actually need to do first? Well, we need to do the multiplication first, don't we? So 6 times 4 is 24. So you'd rewrite this as 2 add 24, and your answer would be 26. Sneaky one, that one. Right, okay. This one down here then, again, this is another 2-mark question. So the way we do these ones is we partition it up. So there's 2,308 times 5. There's 2,308 times by 40. And then at the end, we add them together. Okay, here's the 5. Here's the 40. And then we add them together. So, same as normal. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 0 is 0. Don't forget your 4. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10. So that would be 11,540. This side, don't forget you're timesing by a tens number, so you need a 0 in the ones column. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 0 is nothing, don't forget your 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 8, 4 times 8, 4 times 2 is 8. Add another one is 9. And then you add these together. So I'm going to have room, so I'm going to have to go up here. So I'm going to write this backwards. I'll make sure I get everything in the right place. There we go. So add it up. So it would be 0, 6, 8, 3, 10, 103,860. Goodness me, that is another 2-marker. Well done if you got that one right. Okay, the main thing that people go wrong with here is they forget that 0. You're timesing by 40. So if I just did that, I've only times by 4. So then times it by 40 by adding that 0. Don't forget that 0. Right. Ooh, we've done that one. 35 and 36. Here we are. Thought I'd lost them then. Right, 35 and 36. Nice, easy one to do here. Dividing by 2 is the same as timesing by half. So then we multiply our numerators, multiply our denominators, can't simplify, 3/14. And the last one, what a horrible one to finish off with, but we can do it. So 50 times table down the side, which you can work out nice and easily. Don't do the whole thing yet until you know you need to go a little bit further. Then the 2 times table. And then add them up. So it'd be 52, 104, 156, 208, 260. That's quite a nice times table actually. And if we need to go further, we'll go further. I think we might need to actually. So let's maybe just go one more. Okay. How many times can you divide 2 by 52? You can't, so we rename. Oh, gonna have to rename again. Okay. How many times can you divide 291 by 52? Well, you can share. Let's try that again. You can have one group of 52, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, which would be 260. And you had 291 to share out. So what's the difference between 291 and 260? So if you did 291, take away 206, what would you be left with? Well, you would be left with 31. So then you've got 312 divided by 52, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your answer should be 56. And that was a 2-mark question. So here are the answers to your arithmetic test. big well done. That last one was 2 marks, so it should be out of 40. So take a picture of your working out your score and put it on your portfolio for me to see. If there was any questions that you were really struggling with, let me know on Dojo, and then we can go through them in more detail, or I'll know next week I need to put a little bit more time into certain questions. Okay, well done. See you soon.